Welcome to another episode of Follow the Brand TV. I am your host, Grant McGaugh, CEO of 5-Star BDM, a 5-star personal brand and business development company. I want to take you on a journey through another deep dive into the world of personal branding and business development using compelling personal stories, business conversations, and tips to improve your brand. By listening to the Follow the Brand TV series, you will differentiate yourself from the competition and build trust with prospective clients and employers. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Make it one that will set you apart, build confidence, and reflect who you are. Building your 5-star personal brand is a great way to improve your skills and knowledge. If you have any questions for me or any of my guests, please email me at grant.mcgaugh@5starbdm.com. Now, let's begin with our next episode on the Follow the Brand TV.
Five-Star BDM, Brand Development Masters, is a professional consulting and advisory group keenly focused on business development services for the small to mid-sized business and entrepreneurs. Although every business is unique, they often share business development challenges that can be addressed through smart branding. Services include process improvement and operations, digital strategy and transformation, business intelligence, digital marketing, and personal branding. Our business and personal branding company has helped a number of professionals and organizations to optimize and grow. This results in more business, more opportunities, better reach, positive outcomes. Visit www.5starbdm.com today to learn more.
Black Americans consume 32% more media than any other group in the United States, yet they own just 4% of it. How did this gap happen? Despite record engagement, Black-owned media outlets receive only a fraction of advertising dollars. On this episode of Follow the Brand, Miami entrepreneurs Dexter Bridgman and Grant McGaugh tackle this paradox head-on. We had to control costs while maintaining reach. Going digital wasn't an option, it was survival, McGaugh adds. You have to invest in technology and networks before crises force your hand, especially when the system isn't designed for you. Reality. Major brands like General Motors and McDonald's have pledged to increase ad spending with Black-owned media, 8% by 2025 and 10% by 2024. But the reality? Actual spending remains far lower, leaving Black media entrepreneurs to forge their own paths. Discover how MIA Media Group built a loyal readership of over 1 million, and how 5-Star BDM leverages artificial intelligence and a network of 20,000 experts to empower leaders in healthcare and business. Recorded at the Black Business Olympics, this conversation is more than talk. It is a blueprint for the future of Black media. Subscribe to Follow the Brand and help shape tomorrow's media landscape.
Hey, good morning, good day, good afternoon, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations, and welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Grant McGaugh, CEO of 5-Star BDM and host of the Follow Brand podcast and TV series. And I am your business moderator for this day on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. And we have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. And today we have Dexter A. Bridgman. He is the visionary founder and CEO of Miami, or MIA Media Group, LLC, the largest producer of Black targeted editorial content in Florida. And since 2004, he has built a media empire that includes Legacy Magazine, or Legacy Miami, Legacy South Florida, and MIA Magazine, covering business, politics, culture, and lifestyle across print, digital, and broadcast platforms. His publications are official media partners for marquee events like Jazz in the Gardens, the American Black Film Festival, and the Art of Black Miami, reaching over 1 million readers through partnerships with the Miami Herald and Sun Sentinel. Bridgman also hosts 6 weekly television shows on CW Channel 39 and distributes a digital newsletter 3 times a week. A Hofstra graduate and proud Alpha Phi Alpha brother, Dexter has earned honors from the NAACP and Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce for his work empowering Florida's Black community through media, entrepreneurship, and civic activity. I'd like to bring Dexter A. Bridgman to the Black Business Network. How are you doing today?
Hey, Grant, good morning. I'm doing wonderful, my friend. Good to see you.
I am so proud of you. I'm going to just come out and say that right now. I am very, very proud of you. You know, I just went through your bio. I said 2004. This guy has been doing what we call doing what we're doing right now for 21 years. You have been showcasing Black excellence, Black professionals, Black educators in all kinds of different ways to get visibility. And you featured me twice. Yes. In a couple of different acknowledgments and recognitions. And man, I just wanted to put that out there right here, right now. I'm very, very proud of you. But I want you to tell us your origin story, Dexter. Like, how did you become this media mogul in South Florida?
Well, it goes back even further. It goes back some 40-something years. I have to give credit to the person that started it all for me. I had an opportunity to meet Earl Graves, the former founder and CEO of Black Enterprise magazine. And I had an opportunity to tour his office when I was 19 years old on an office tour, like a student type of summer program. And when I walked into his office, he had 2 floors on Madison Avenue. And I don't know if you want, back in, but that would have to be 1980. There weren't too many Black people having offices on Madison Avenue, and yet alone having 2 complete floors that belonged to his company. I was just so impressed. And his office was as big as my house. And had dollar signs on his office, and he had a picture of just about every political and business leader, not just nationally but internationally. And at the end of the tour, I looked up at him and I said, "Mr. Graves, one day I'm going to be a publisher. You have convinced me that this is what I want to do." And some 11 years later, just serendipity, or one of these situations, I happened to get an invitation to his 25-year anniversary. And I was standing in line to kiss his ring and to say, "Hello, Mr. Graves." I did it. And he looked, he said, when I told him the story, of course, he didn't remember me. I mean, you know what I mean? So when I told him the story, he says, "Well, are you a publisher, Dexter, today?" I said, "Yes, sir." I reached inside and said, "Show me what you got." Reached inside my inside pocket, pulled it out. And he started going through it. And he said, "This is very good, very good." And he said, "Clarence, Ed, come on over here, meet young bro." And the Clarence and Ed he's talking about is Clarence Smith and Ed Lewis, the founders, the CEO, and the publisher of Essence Magazine. He said, "Join me. This is young bro over here. He's on his way up." Man, you couldn't tell me I was in the highest cotton.
Yeah.
So I took that experience, and I started a publishing company in New York, and I did that for like 9 years. And I happened to venture down here in South Florida because my sister relocated, and she then bought a home. She purchased a home. And I was supposed to stay for the weekend, Grant. Yeah. I'd never been to South Florida before. Man, I lost my mind. First of all, when I was taking off, I was taking off in LaGuardia, and it was 2 feet of snow, and we were the last out. So imagine not ever being in South Florida before, although I've been to the Caribbean and what have you, yada, yada, yada. But when I landed, it was 84 degrees. So I came from 28-degree weather to 85-degree weather. I had my parka on and everything, man. I was sweating. I got to my sister's car. She's like, take all that off. Like I said, I was supposed to stay a weekend. I ended up staying for 2 weeks. And, I started coming down just about every other weekend. And she said, listen, if you like it so much, why don't you move? And so, being an entrepreneur, I'm like, hey, you don't have to tell me twice. I said, I'll be here in 6 months, Grant. I was here 6 months to the day. May 4th, 2004 was when I was 6 months to the day that I said I would be here. And I started my publication. I had I didn't know what I wanted to do, Grant. I was very successful in New York. I had some money, and I was just going to take things easy. Maybe a little. I was 42. I said, a little retirement, whatever. I'll figure everything out later. But I saw a Miami Herald article, and it said, introducing South Florida's top realtors. Now, Grant, when I came down here in 2004, it was at the peak of the real estate industry. South Florida was still very affordable. And let me tell you something. It didn't matter who I met. I could have met a doctor, a lawyer. I could have met you. I don't know. Do you sell real estate, Grant?
I did not.
Okay, you did not. You're one of the few people that didn't.
Probably.
Everybody. If I met the president of Burger King, he would say, hey, my name is John Smith. By the way, I'm the president of Burger King, and I sell real estate.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, how could that be one Black person on that list of 50 people? So they had like 45 men that were either white or Hispanic. And then they had 3 white women and like 2 Hispanic women. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, not one Black person could make that list. So I said, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. And I went to some journalists and I told them that I'm going to start this publication that's going to feature Black excellence and what have you. And they're like, good luck. Good luck. I can only think of 1 or 2. And these are our Black journalists working for the Miami Herald, working for other entities. And I'm like, really? But I didn't look. I'm like, well, that's your experience. It ain't going to be mine. So in November, I came out with my first issue. And November of 2004, I came out with my first issue, my first power issue. And here I am 21 years later, never missed an issue, regardless of the situation, regardless of the crisis in 2008, regardless of COVID, regardless of what's happening now with the tariffs and businesses pulling back, never missed an issue, and we are doing very, very well beside all of that, because we have I worked very hard to put. It's not just about me, Grant. Yeah. I was this. It's about the people that you surround yourself with, building a good team.
That's right.
So, today we have 3 platforms, digital print, television shows, where, I don't wear this as a badge of honor, but, we unfortunately, we're the only one in Miami-Dade County that owns and produces shows that are on network television show that are Black. And like I said, I don't wear that as a badge of honor. We should have more people. That I should not be the only one. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, and then the third is that we have a strong digital presence as well. So we have 3 major platforms where we over 1 million people either read or view our platforms on a weekly basis.
And I can attest to all that. First, you are the essence of resilience. And like you said, 21 years, not missing an issue, rain, sleet, snow. And I say that because he's from New York, because he didn't see too much. He's seen a lot of rain, but not too much sleet and snow. But me, myself, I came down in 1998. My father was here. And just like you, I used to call him on the phone. And then, be in the middle of December and I'm shoveling snow. And I say, hey, Dad, what are you doing? So, I'm in my shorts sitting out in the backyard.
Right.
You know what? I'm sick of this, That's my transition story, right?
Exactly. I'm very mean to my friends. It's like, January, February, March. I'm walking around with in my sandals and short pants and whatever the case may be, and they're freezing their butts off in New York, and I'm doing selfies and sending it to them.
Oh yeah. So this could be you, right? Right. Come on down. But in all seriousness, and I didn't realize you started with the Power Edition. I was just, honored in your top 50 power players in Miami. You had one for Miami, you had one for
Congratulations and
Broward Palm Beach, and it just makes me feel good because then that was my second time. The first time it was in like 2018. I was honored in your healthcare publication.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And because of those recognitions, I also, like you were saying earlier, I surround myself in a network of good people, right? Professional people that are mobily upward. They're doing things, in the community. And because I'm featured in that particular publication, I now am actually operating in that same network of your own. So I've reached out to certain people. I've been, had conversations with them. We've done business together. This has been wonderful. I wanted to tell this because when I became the president of the National Association of Health Services Executives for the South Florida world, and I got with Dexter, and I said, Dexter, this is what I'm doing. And Dexter said, hey, I think, we could work together on something. And I said, I want to do a newsletter. I want to do something. And Dexter said, you know what? First of all, let's share some network information. And I'm going to put you in touch with my editor who develops a newsletter. And if you think you can pull together enough content for a quarter, you can then, I'll go ahead and help you develop it. He did that for me. And I'm telling you this because this is the origin story, the true origin story of 5-Star BDM and the Follow the Brand podcast, because I started interviewing healthcare executives, going out there with my little cell phone, recording them, getting the audio, doing the transcript, getting his editor involved, and developing. Probably people will say, a lot of organizations, they do a newsletter. I had a publication.
Right.
I said, this is not a newsletter.
You were one of the first to have a digital publication.
Yeah.
Right.
You showed me that whole platform, right? You did that. So I guess the question is, where are we now as a people when it comes to content creation in your lens, in your eye? Because you've been doing this so long, and you know how now, even before 20 years ago, content creation is at a fingertips for a lot of people, digital, audio, print. You can do these things. You've got large language model. Express to us how important it is to be visible in the community.
Well, it is, but I'll tell you, there's content creators who are journalists, real journalists who went to college and took journalism courses and so forth, and became reporters and editors and what have you. And then there are content creators who have opinions, whether they have a written opinion or they have a broadcast opinion. And, you have to give them their due, because that is where the society is going. But at the same time, they don't play the same rules that I do. You know what I mean? I have to, as a journalistic organization, an award-winning journalistic organization, I have to play by rules that are set by guidelines. If you're Michael Smith or Michelle Jones, and you're not a journalist, but you have an opinion, and your opinions are popular, you can talk about whatever you want to say. You can curse, you can do whatever, and it could be as wild and crazy, or it could be very, very very professionally done, and it could be a situation where you're addressing an audience with I'm not saying a lack of intellect, but when you're sometimes the content creators, they get ahead of themselves, unfortunately, and they just, I'm not talking about just in the Black space, in all spaces,
Sure.
and just spew all sorts of things, racism and everything, and good, bad, and indifferent. So as I said, it's good, and then it's good, but and it also has its drawbacks as well. But in my space, in terms of the world is changing and evolving and what have you, I just recently switched over in December from print to all my publications are now digital flip books.
Yeah.
Because guess what? The days of going to the newsstands, if there's breaking news, you used to run to the newsstands or run to the supermarket to grab a newspaper. Things are happening like this. No, so as soon as it happens, it's on your phone. You get an alert or whatever the case may be. So the days of newspapers, print newspapers and printing magazines, those days are over. Over. When I started with the Miami Herald back in 2010, their circulation was in the 400,000s.
Yeah.
When I started with Sun Sentinel, theirs was the same thing. Now the Miami Herald is, putting out 10,000 copies. Sun Sentinel is putting out, 30,000 copies. But they've made a transition to digital. So that's not where their strength is. They keep those publications just because, and one day you're going to wake up and they'll say Miami Herald, Sun Sentinel is no longer printing, and this is the way of the future. A lot of major publishing companies throughout the country are all digital now.
This is a big deal, and I hear what you're saying. I know, growing up, one of the biggest things, we have a Herald, especially Miami, my hometown of Omaha, Nebraska, and you would get the paper delivered to you, every day. I remember being even in high school on a Saturday night, we would go and I would work part-time there, and we would put out the Sunday paper. It was it was this thick, full of stuff. Or even looking at the telephone book. Every year you get this huge telephone book. Well, that's no longer. So the business of media has pivoted and changed to a digital world. This is one of the reasons why I focus on personal branding from a business development tool, because I'm trying to show people like you've got to be visible and understand how to utilize these digital tool sets that are at your disposal, because this is how people are going to become aware of you. Just like if you had just a brick and mortar building,
right?
It's going to be a lot easier for you to get a presence digitally than it is to somebody drive. Remember the day of the billboard. You're just driving down the road and you see the billboard, and some of that is still in play, but minuscule. I was blown away what you just said. Miami Herald had a publication of 400,000 newspapers going out probably every day, every week.
Every day.
And that was 10,000? That's like...
Now it's 10 to 12,000, 10 to 15,000, somewhere in that neighborhood. Because they realize it's, it's a dying industry. Print is dying. And the only way you're going to survive, again, like they keep it, just because, there's some business reasons to keep it alive as well. But, they have made a complete dive, as most major publications in the United States and the world, to digital. And that's what I have done. I try to tell I like to think of myself as I'm a little ahead of the curve in the world of Black media, Black-owned media. And I tell my associates all the time, listen, you can't do business the way you did yesterday.
Yeah.
You've got to transfer. You've got to have a digital presence. You got to have a strong web presence. You got to have a strong social media presence. You have to. Especially if you're media, people expect that you're going to have something to say on social media, or something that's to represent you on social media. And that's just the way the industry is. And with the advance of AI, that is also impacting our industry.
100% on that, and I've seen it. And as far as morphing, changing the content creation of audio, video, obviously,
Right.
in text. How are people consuming information and intelligence is super, super important. My question for you is, now you've made the pivot. Are you seeing our Black businesses also making the pivot, or are they holding on to a Blockbuster world in a Netflix society? I'll say it like that.
Well, let me make sure I understand the question. Repeat it again. Let me make sure I.
I'm going to say it like this. Are our Black businesses keeping up? Are they
Oh, okay.
making the pivot?
Okay.
Are they
Got it.
making the
Got it.
change?
Got it. Unfortunately, from what I see, and I'm honoring and recognizing. I know a lot of the Black businesses and what have you, and in South Florida, and unfortunately, they're not. They're not. And we're the last ones, usually, unfortunately, to get to the point where we're the last ones to get the upgrade, the technology upgrade. We're the last ones and sometimes it's financial, sometimes it's a lack of knowledge. I mean, and I'll give you an example like this. If you go to a chamber meeting, if you go to a chamber meeting, they have grants.
Mm-hmm.
And the type of grants they have are for like $2,000, how to develop a not media plan, develop your business plan, how to do this, how to do that. Well, that's only for a certain type of business. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If you've been in business for 10, 15 years, you gotta have more advanced knowledge and more advanced type of information. But many of us still don't have websites.
Mm-hmm.
Many of us don't do any marketing. Many of us don't, follow any kind. Look at the back in the when we had the recession or the COVID, and people were applying for the federal grants. That money that was go be in your pocket. All you need to do was show your income tax.
Right.
They didn't have the paperwork together. They could get that money because they didn't file taxes. They don't know they don't know their what's their profit and loss.
Mm-hmm.
How are you in business every day, Grant? And you don't know that you're in the red.
Right. Right.
But and this is where we are, unfortunately. But thanks to organizations like yours, that you're and when you're talking about it, you're giving an opportunity, or you're talking and educating and informing our community on the importance of that type of thing, because it's I just don't understand. I don't get it. I don't understand how you don't.
Well, I'm a piggyback on that, and to your point, and I've been doing this now for 5+ years, just on the podcast itself, and and bringing talent to the table like yourself to educate society, because we don't want that to be an excuse. You should know. You have to know, right? I point to our educational system, and I'll point the finger right at it, because we are on a monopoly board. This is what it is. You need to pass go. You need to collect $200. You need to accumulate property. You need to get a home. You need to get a business. And you need to understand this every day and twice on Sunday. However, if you look at our education system, it's really teaching you how to pass go. That's it. And if you only learn how to pass go and collect $200, that'll work in the beginning, until everybody else starts collecting property, start getting monopoly, start collaborating with other people. And all of a sudden, that same block, like you mentioned something earlier around real estate, right, in Miami. I remember coming to Miami, you could buy a really nice home for about $150,000. You really could. It was really nice. That exact same property, nothing changed at all, is now $700,000-$800,000.
Exactly.
So the block has changed. So you go around the block and collect your $200, you ain't buying much.
Right. No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
So I say that to say this: when it comes to business, and it comes to the basic education, that we aren't teaching our kids. And I think we have to do this ourselves. You got to learn and understand the environment in which you are operating in. And it's changing constantly. So you can't say, oh, yeah, well, AI, I don't like that. It ain't about you liking it or not. This is how business is being conducted,
Right.
that you can amplify yourself. So I
Right.
can take Dexter and make 10 Dexters. Why
Right.
do you think he has so many different media outlets? Because people consume information
That's
in
right.
different ways, right?
Different ways. Exactly. Well said. And that's the truth.
So here's the question I had. Let's say I want to go. I like Dexter and what he does. I'm going to be just like that person, like Earl Grey. I'm coming to your office. I see what you've built done. I see what you've done. If I wanted to go and walk in your footsteps, what are like 5 things I really need to know right now that I probably wasn't aware of?
That's a really good question. And, some of this is the basic questions, in terms of, doing your research, and when I say do your research in terms of finding out what's out there, but part of your research is don't chase the dollar. Don't start a business that you're not passionate about, but you're just like, okay, you know what? I hear that being starting a construction company or starting a repair company, whatever, is I can make a lot of money doing that. But if you're not passionate about it, Grant, what's going to happen? It's going to fail. It's going to fail because you know what? I work, and when I say this, I work 7 days a week. And it's not work, Grant, but it's not work. I enjoy it. This is who I am. This is my business. I'm passionate about it. I think about it every single day. And but some people say, well, don't you need to decompress or, take a breath? I do. And part of that is I take a breath and I think about my business. Mm-hmm. Because you know what? Like as I said earlier, you can't do business the way you did yesterday or the day before, so that's one. Number 2 is if you're on time, you're late. Mm-hmm. If that appointment's at 9:00 and you walk in the door at 9:00, you're late. I'm from New York, man. It's the New York minute. It's right. A New York minute, New York second, you know what I mean? You can, so be a half an hour early. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a student. I don't care if you're a professional who's been out there for 10, 15 years or someone who's seasoned, been in business for 40 years. If you're on time, you are late. Mm-hmm. And this is another one that you're not going to find in the books. But I took this from an experience when I was in camp. When I was 8, 9 years old, I went to a boys' camp. And it's all based on sports and what have you. And they were giving out awards and such and such. And the camp director said, we're going to give this award. We've never done this award before, but this young man is so mannerable and is so, always thank you, please, this and that and the other. So the first award that we've ever given for manners is Dexter Bridgman. Mm. And I remember that, and I took that to the rest of my life. Manners, saying thank you, is currency. Saying thank you, may I, please, it's currency, Grant, right?
Yes. Yes.
Being kind is currency. Another one, you're not going to hear. The likability factor. Mm-hmm. People like doing business with people they like. Don't be an asshole. Excuse the expression. Don't be a jerk. You can say there are a lot of people who are successful who are jerks and people don't like them. They get their comeuppance. Trust me, they do.
Yeah.
But the people that are likable and the people who do things always the right way and making sure that they take care of everything, they're always looked after. I have clients that will say to me, Dexter, we don't have much of a budget, but I'm going to get you more money.
Yeah.
Guess what? They do. Because why? They like me. And why do they like me? Because I like them, and I'm kind and I'm considerate. I'm polite to everyone. Not just my clients, everyone.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
I like you.
I like you too, man. That's why I'm here. I assume, right?
with cause, without
Exactly.
question, you talk about manners as well. Appreciation goes a long way. You got to
Absolutely.
appreciate that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, I mean, like I said, and the things about, making sure that you do things the right way. I mean, from a business perspective, having morals and ethics are also incredibly important.
Mm-hmm.
Incredibly important. I tell people, guard your reputation and your name jealously. Jealously. You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
Make sure that your name is always upheld. I mean, it's not a matter of, doing this. It's not about bragging. It's just about doing the right thing. Guard your name and your reputation jealously.
You couldn't say that. You got to say that twice. As someone who does personal branding, I understand exactly what you just said. Because the thing about when this digital age is that your reputation is going to travel lightning fast as before, because your reach went from this to this.
Right.
So
right.
Understanding that and how you're truly viewed by especially your target audience, who do you want to truly influence, goes a long way. And people see everything. And whether you realize that they might not voice everything, there's a lot of the things that are invisible. I always look at the iceberg effect. Someone taught me this a while ago. And it's so important because when you see an iceberg and you see the top of it, you're only seeing 30% of that total iceberg. 70% of that is underneath the water. Yeah. So 70% of your reputation is something you aren't always aware of, but it's part of your overall brand.
Yes. Well said. Well said. You're so right about that. And nowadays, man, you can't get away with anything. You can't get away with anything. I always told people if I was ever going to be a crook or rob a bank, guess what? I'm the only one going to rob the bank. I'm not, even my wife. I'm not even telling you. So my point is that everything follows you today. Yes. Everything is on social media. I mean, Google. And some of that stuff it could have happened 20 years ago. You can't get rid of it.
Yeah,
you can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
So, make sure that everything that you do, and none of us are perfect. I'm not saying that you got to be a saint. But just make sure that part of guarding.
Be intentional. Be conscious. Yeah. Understand where you're at, what you want to do. I can't applaud you more than what you do now because you give a voice to, I call the voiceless, right? You're giving people a platform that haven't had. And unfortunately, here it is 2025, and some of those same things still happen when they come out with these, Forbes lists and other big publications that come out with their list of people, and you're like, wow, I still question that a lot of times. Like, no one of color at all,
right?
Competing at that level, like none. Do you think that's a matter of influence because they're not in their particular circle of know, like, and trust, or what is that?
Well, remember, I just gave the example of how I started my media company. When I said, you had this 50 people, you mean tell me that no one could have been on that list? You mean no one could be on that Forbes list? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Other people could not be on that Forbes list or other lists. One of the, basically, and I always tell people to make sure you have a 30-second, pitch. Yeah. Somebody says, "Who are you?" And ours is very simple. We educate and inform and editorialize the success and the achievement of the Black South Florida community.
Nice.
Real plain and simple. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Real plain and simple. And I say that because of the fact that, many awards are given through, companies give an employee of the year or this, that, and the other. Many of our people who are well-deserving don't get those opportunities. So, we try to make sure that we honor and recognize people in all aspects of professions. So, you were recognized in the top healthcare issue. We honor and recognize Black educators. We have the 40 under 40, the younger one. And then of course the gold standard, is the where we honor and recognize the 50 most powerful and influential Black business leaders for the year. And I'm so happy when I'm in a room and someone's being honored or recognized, and someone's getting ready to introduce them. The master of ceremony is saying, and Grant McGaw has been awarded Legacy Magazine 2025 most powerful and influential Black business leader of the year. In addition, he was awarded Legacy's top Black healthcare professional back in 2018. Come on, man. You don't think that makes me feel good too?
Yeah.
I feel as good as you do. Honestly. And that gives me pleasure. And because, this award, and by the way, this award comes from the community.
Yeah.
It's like Dexter Bridgman and my team my editorial team that's doing this. These awards and these type of recognition, you have to be nominated. And you have to, when part of the nomination process, someone has to write an essay of 100 words, 200 words on why Grant McGaw should be considered. And we have a committee that sits down and looks at everybody. And some people have been trying to get on the list forever. In a joking way, some people have even tried to.
Hey, they got to do what they got to do.
But
Dexter, we're coming to the end. I want you, because this is important. How do they contact you? How does it? Hey, I'm interested in Dexter and his business. How do they contact you?
Real simple. You can contact me. You can you can email me at dab@miamediagrp.com. You can also go to my website, which has all my contact information, and that's real simple. That's probably the easiest way, because you're not going to remember the email address, but just go to my website at miamediagrp.com, miamediagrp.com, and it has my contact information in terms of my phone number, my office phone number, and my email. And I'm prompt with responding to all communication.
I tell you, I thank you so much for being with us on the Black Business Network. This has been wonderful. We will talk soon again, my friend. Genius is common, and I'll see you on the other side.
Thank you.
Oh, that was wonderful, 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 wonderful. I want to remind everybody that the Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for our K-12 entrepreneurs. This expo is a fundraiser for students, and you can go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund. Now, you can use the Cash App that is on the screen below. That is $BBXUSA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students, you can register online at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts, so we want to remind you to donate to the scholarship fund. And we want to thank our Black Business Expo USA sponsors for July 2025. They include NC100, Moody Capital Partners, Suede Soul, 5-Star BDM Media, Lotus for Shade Coaching and Training, Carolina, Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council, Step Management, Hello LLC, BHS and Associates, Martin McLean Foundation Incorporated, Genius is Common, Earth Essentials, Milani Shiny Global, Executive Success Woman Success Institute, The Quality Coaching Company, Superwoman Business Services, Creative Force Studios, Lee Entertainment, Artistic App Design, Black Business Expo USA, and Genius is Common. And I will see you on the other side. Man, who's your favorite podcaster? Man, Grant, man. I love Grant's podcast. Well, who's Grant? I'm going to send you the link. I love Grant.
I love the interview. I've done a lot of these, and this is a great one. It's always great to talk to people who know what they're doing, and it's clear you're a great host, and you've done this many times before.
I feel great that we're having this conversation here. Met a new person in business who I previously didn't know.
It was an amazing podcast. Grant is an amazing interviewer. I learned a lot.
Really enjoyed this. Great questions, great talk track. Super appreciate you having me on. It's been a very fun episode to talk about a lot of things that I don't always get to dive into, so this has been a fantastic conversation.
I wouldn't be where I am here today, of course, not on this stage, however, not in my current business projection and my current business model without working with you.
In today's world, where every voice competes for attention, true influence stands out. One visionary has redefined the landscape of brand building. His name is Grant McGaw, and his innovative approach is setting new standards in the industry. Recognized among the top 30 global gurus in branding for 2025, Grant McGaw is a name synonymous with transformative brand leadership. His work is not just about creating brands, it's about crafting legacies. Through his visionary strategies, he is helping leaders across the globe redefine their impact and influence. At the heart of Grant's success is the revolutionary BRAVE framework. BRAVE stands for branding, resilience, authenticity, vision, and excellence. Each element is meticulously crafted to guide leaders in building brands that are not only successful, but also meaningful. Branding sets the foundation, resilience ensures longevity, authenticity builds trust, vision drives innovation, and excellence guarantees quality. This framework is where data meets storytelling and strategy meets authenticity. From healthcare to technology, Grant's methodology is reshaping how industries approach branding. His strategies are not confined to a single sector. They are universal, adaptable, and effective. By integrating the BRAVE framework, organizations are experiencing a transformation in how they connect with their audiences, ensuring their message resonates and endures. Grant McGaw's influence extends beyond frameworks. Through his best-selling books and the acclaimed Follow the Brand podcast, he shares insights and strategies that empower leaders to elevate their brand presence. These resources are a testament to his commitment to shaping the future of branding. Grant McGaw is not just influencing the present, he is shaping the future of brand influence. His work is a beacon for those seeking to lead with purpose and impact. By embracing his methodologies, leaders are equipped to navigate the complexities of modern branding with confidence and clarity. Discover the BRAVE approach to brand leadership and unlock the potential of your brand. At 5-Star BDM, where vision meets results, Grant McGaw invites you to embark on a journey of transformation. Experience the power of strategic branding and redefine your impact in the world. Are you searching for a website that truly reflects your mission and vision? The 5-Star BDM website services portfolio, led by Grant McGaw, transforms ideas into impactful digital platforms for personal brands, nonprofits, and small businesses. Each project in our portfolio tells a unique story. From JADICC, a infection control expert organization with professional polish, to Ekaba World Community, a dynamic hub for events and memberships, and Pink Lotus Project, empowering women with donation and program features, every site is crafted using our BRAVE branding framework and mobile-first development. Our portfolio is more than a gallery. It highlights project context, purpose, and measurable outcomes. We demonstrate brand consistency, strategic user experience, and deliver results that build trust and drive engagement. A world-class portfolio proves capability, sets you apart from competitors, and positions you as an authority. It is your most trusted sales tool and reputation asset. Ready for a website that leads with purpose? Book a discovery consultation or request a brand audit today. Your story is powerful. Your brand is valuable. Your business deserves to be seen, heard, and followed. The Black Business Olympics has given you the stage, showcasing Black entrepreneurs speaking on stage, networking, and leading their businesses. Now, let's take your business even further. With the Black Business Olympics logo and clips of past events and inspiring speakers, we celebrate the power of visibility and the impact of your unique story. Introducing 5-Star BDM's exclusive video creation services designed to transform your Black Business Olympics appearance into a powerful marketing tool. Our dynamic approach includes behind-the-scenes shots of video editing, branding consultations, and social media marketing. We take your business story and turn it into a high-impact video that attracts clients, builds trust, and opens doors to new business opportunities. With polished content, testimonials, and high-energy graphics, your brand will shine brighter than ever. Our process is simple and effective. Step 1. We extract the best moments from your Black Business Olympics speech. Step 2. We craft a compelling branded video with your business details, call to action, and testimonials. Step 3. You receive ready-to-share professional content for social media, websites, and email marketing. With our AI-enhanced video marketing strategies, your message reaches the right audience at the right time, so your business grows while you lead. Hear from successful entrepreneurs who have worked with 5-Star BDM. After working with 5-Star BDM, my brand awareness skyrocketed. My Black Business Olympics talk became my #1 lead generator. The video they created gave me the confidence to pitch my business to major investors. Game-changing service. These testimonials showcase the transformative power of our services and the success that follows. Your business is your legacy. Your story matters. Let's make it unforgettable. Use your videos to land deals, grow your online presence, and dominate your industry. The message is clear. Get your custom video today. Visit 5starbdm.com. 5-Star BDM. We build 5-star brands that people will follow. Are you ready to be next? Email Black Business Network for your special pricing. What if leadership wasn't about titles, but trials? What if your breakthrough lay beyond fear? In First Light, the brave path to authentic leadership, embark on a journey of courage, truth, and purpose. Face the wolf. Hear first thunder. Wield the sword and shield. This is more than a book. It's a calling. Are you ready for First Light? In today's fast-paced financial landscape, access to capital is the key to success. At the heart of this revolution is Case Capital Markets, powered by SETI-Case. Here, innovation and investment converge, creating a dynamic environment where businesses can thrive and reach new heights. Introducing Grant McGaw, the senior advisor at Case Capital Markets. Grant is a visionary leader, dedicated to connecting businesses with institutional capital and strategic funding. His expertise opens doors to game-changing investment opportunities, making him an invaluable partner for companies looking to scale and succeed in the competitive world of finance. With an impressive 25 years in technology, 9 years in healthcare, and 6 years in investment banking, Grant McGaw has a proven track record. He has successfully closed over $500 million in high-value transactions, seamlessly bridging technology, healthcare, and infrastructure with innovative financial solutions. His experience is a testament to his ability to drive success. Case Capital Markets offers businesses direct access to over 32,000 venture capital firms, private equity funds, family offices, and institutional investors. This network empowers mid-market companies with under $100 million in revenue to scale beyond their limits, unlocking unprecedented growth potential. Debt, equity, growth capital, public offerings. These are the building blocks of the future of capital access. Whether you're scaling a business, seeking investment, or exploring market expansion, Grant McGaw is your trusted partner. Together, you can unlock capital and create long-term financial success. The future belongs to those who take action. Are you ready to elevate your business? Welcome to Follow the Brand, where we turn leaders into legends. I'm Grant McGaw, CEO of 5-Star BDM. Today, we're not just talking about executive presence, we're going to transform yours. Executive presence isn't about power, it's about trust. And here's the good news. You can build it at any level. Let's dive into how you can command any room you enter. Dr. Kimberly Long, CEO of California Nurse Leaders, shared a profound insight. The moment you try to prove your power is the moment you lose it. Executive presence is about building trust and authority without force. It's about creating an environment where people lean in to listen. You can achieve this by being authentic and consistent in your communication and actions. Consider Dr. Long during a hospital merger. She lowered her voice instead of raising it, and the room leaned in. Similarly, Sarah Chen, a project manager, used this technique in meetings. Within 3 months, her team began to emulate her style. Denzel Ross, now president of IU Health South Central, built his presence by identifying communication gaps and lifting others up. These examples show how presence spreads through subtle yet powerful actions. Your action step. In your next 3 meetings, try speaking 10% slower and 20% quieter. Watch what happens. For team leads, start delegating key responsibilities. Managers should use meetings as learning labs. Directors build cross-functional bridges. The key shift? Stop being the answer person. Start being the question person. This approach fosters growth and empowers others. Patrick Green, CEO of UF Health Jacksonville, uses a communication matrix to simplify complex ideas. His 3-step formula: start with impact, follow with insight, end with action. For example, instead of saying, "We need to upgrade our systems," he says, "We can save 50 lives this year by investing in this technology. Here's how." This clarity builds influence and trust. 3 common mistakes: reactivity, over-explaining, and imposter syndrome. When challenged, take a slow sip of water to respond thoughtfully. Instead of defending every detail, offer a headline first. Dr. Long still gets nervous before board meetings but prepares thoroughly. Remember, nervousness is energy. Executive presence isn't a destination, it's a practice. Start where you are, use what you have, and build from there.
When you deliver on your promise and you have the result you were looking for, and everybody in the room is like, wow, this is what we're talking about.
Healthcare is evolving rapidly, and future leaders must adapt swiftly. Dr. Sandra Dunbar Smalley shares her journey from clinician to chief learning officer, highlighting the essence of modern leadership. Transitioning from the clinical floor to the executive suite requires more than just expertise. Dr. Dunbar Smalley emphasizes that leadership today isn't about having all the answers. It's about fostering environments where innovation, learning, and human connection can thrive. While mentors provide invaluable guidance, sponsors are crucial for creating opportunities. Dr. Dunbar Smalley underscores the importance of both in navigating the path to leadership. Many leaders, including Dr. Dunbar Smalley, experience imposter syndrome. Yet, they continue to step forward, embracing challenges and growing through them. Discover the 3 pillars transforming healthcare leadership: leading self, leading others, and leading results. These principles guide leaders in creating impactful change. Don't just listen, lead. Subscribe now to Follow the Brand podcast.
Sometimes when you have a particular skill set, you may not even feel you can move in different avenues, but someone will see that. So I think there are 2 camps of people: those that really want to climb that ladder and they're very eager to do it. And then there are those that I call the reluctant leader, where doors may be open and you have to choose whether you're going to go into them. And so I'm in that second camp where I've really just accepted and felt very blessed that people have said, "I'd like to give you this opportunity."
Hey everyone, it's Grant McGaw, CEO of 5-Star BDM and host of the award-winning Follow the Brand podcast and TV series, where I help you to build a 5-star brand that people will follow. My genius is personal brand development through intelligent communication and helping you achieve your business and career goals. I am a requested speaker on digital technology and brand development issues. I want to work with you to increase the value of your current opportunities while attracting new ones. Every one of you is unique, and we all share challenges that can be addressed through smart branding. As a superconnector, I work with you as an executive coach to guide you along the complicated business and career development road, providing the enhancement tools and information you need to succeed. Together, I will help you succeed in today's challenging business climate. I will evaluate and measure your progress. Best of all, I am right alongside you every step of the way. Build the brand called you. Genius is coming. Tune in for our next show or click on our website at www.firestarbdm/followthebrandtv. Thank you.